So in Megan's new cooking show, if you watch it, I haven't watched all of it, her cooking show, but I did watch some. She talks about a naked cake, and she also talks about, oh, look, there's no green screen here. Let's see if those were jabs at the royal family, or if she just innocently did it. When she talked about a naked cake, which really looked like a Victoria sponge, was she trying to make something that's British really seem like her own when really it looked like a Victoria sponge that she was making? So it looked like she was worried about what she would say about the cake, which is weird. And she thought of a bunch of different ideas of what she could call it. But then she was like, okay, the world may be pretty judgy on how I make this cake. So instead, I'm just going to call it a naked cake instead of a Victoria sponge to release myself from feeling trapped. Like they could claim I didn't make it right or I didn't do something well. And so I'm going to call it a naked cake, not a Victoria sponge. So I'm not trapped into people saying you didn't do it right. So really, she did that actually because she didn't want people to claim she didn't make the cake correctly. Because when I looked at that, I was like, that's a Victoria sponge. That's not a naked cake. Why are you calling it naked cake? That's a famous British dessert, right? You know, certain people are not the only ones who appropriate. Okay, so anyway, let's go to this is such a stupid conversation. It's a freaking cake. It just goes to show when people complain about other stuff like tacos and things like that, it's like it's food. Are you really getting bent out of shape about food? Like clearly I don't totally mean this seriously. I kind of think this is a joke. But anyways, and then at the end, she's sitting with her friend. I think he was a hairdresser or something. I'm not positive. And they're like, look at this view. Oh, and they're eating their Victoria sponge and drinking tea or their naked cake. And he's like, oh, look at the view. And she's like, no green screen. Was that a subtle jab at Catherine when she did that weird video talking about how she was sick? And then people said, oh, is that AI? Is that green screen? Was that a jab at that? So this talks about, again, wanting people to like her, but then feeling stuck. That's Megan. And having hope for how much people would like her, or having hope for how her wishes coming true through this show. And she felt really disappointed by how people treated her in the past and really just wants people to love her on this new beginning. So it was her focusing on getting support from others in her show. And was she trying to make a subtle comment about the royal family using green screen allegedly? So it looks like yes, like that part, yes. She made a judgment about that. This is about her, Leo, judgment. And she was just like, and this means that yes to a yes or no question as well, Ace of Pentacles. She was like, okay, they can do what they want over there, but I do what I want over here. I'm being like Princess Diana. I'm the renegade who stepped away from the family, and no green screen here. I keep it real. So it was kind of, she was doing two things at once. She was trying to show I'm real, but then also making a subtle, you use green screen, I don't, haha, type of thing. So overall, how is her show being received by the masses? How do people really like her show, or do they like her show? What do they think of the show? They think a lot of different factors about the show, Seven of Cups. On one hand, people think it's a disaster, some people, and then other people really, really love it. So again, it's like that split energy she has where people like love or hate her, right? Personally, I don't hate her. I don't love her. I guess I'm in the minority. I do these readings to humor you guys, and some things I notice that I think are funny. But do I really strongly care either way? Not really. But she produced a love or hate reaction like she usually does with most of her stuff. So that's what I have. If you want to watch an interesting video about Charles possibly convincing the ruler of the United States to back off on Canada, again, this is not stuff that's factual. It's just a tarot reading about it. Go to Patreon. Thanks for watching. Bye.